Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to give you my review for episode 3 of Obi Wan Kenobi. We see Kenobi reflecting on what he had been told from the previous episode. He calls out to Qui-Gon and hears voices from Yoda, Qui-Gon, Riva and Anakin. As he hears these voices we see Darth Vader being assembled. We then see Darth Vader in his castle on Mustafar where he speaks to Riva. He says if Riva proves herself in finding Kenobi, she will be the Grand Inquisitor. If she fails, well, we know what will happen to her then. The ship Leia and Kenobi are on lands on Maspuzo. They sneak off the ship to a place mentioned by Haja in the previous episode. When they get there, there's no one there waiting for them, and Obi-Wan thinks that Haja lied to them. Obi-Wan sees a vision of Anakin in the distance. Riva arrives at the Iguitorius on Nur. The other Inquisitors are not happy that she went to Vader. Fifth brother said the Grand Inquisitor position was his, as he was next in line. Riva orders that the probes be sent out to the systems in search of Kenobi. Leia waves down a transport to the launching pad. They both get in the back and a short time later, stormtroopers get on board. They question Kenobi and says that they are both from Thal. They are father and daughter. He says Leia's name was Luma, but during the conversation, Kenobi mistakenly calls her Leia instead of Luma. The stormtroopers notice this and questions Kenobi more. He says that he gets confused and that Leia was her mother's name. They believe him and they depart the transport. Leia asks Kenobi if she knew her real mother and asks if he was her father. He says he wasn't. They arrive at the barrier and see stormtroopers there for inspections. The driver, whose name is Freck, warns the stormtroopers and to check out Obi-Wan and Leia. They order them both out of the transport. A probe droid appears and tries to identify Kenobi. He shoots at the droid and then at the stormtroopers. Obi-Wan opens the barrier, but as soon as he does so, another transport arrives with 4 stormtroopers and a female commander called Tala. The stormtroopers ordered Kenobi and Leia to the ground and not to move, and as they do so, the female commander behind them shoots the stormtroopers. She tells Kenobi that she was the one that was supposed to meet them earlier. She takes him the rest of the way, and on Nur, the Inquisitors leave for Mapuzo. Tala tells Kenobi that everything is on lockdown, but they have a transport ready at the landing bay. She takes him to a building that is a secret hideout for Jedi and others. He sees the name Quinlan Vosh. She opens a secret door that leads to a tunnel. Obi-Wan suddenly feels dread and walks to the window and sees the Inquisitors, and then he sees Darth Vader approach. Vader pulls out a father from a building window and begins to choke him. His son comes running out and Vader uses the Force to break the boy's neck. Obi-Wan tells Tala to get Leia away to the transport. We then see Vader drag a woman across the street by using the Force. Vader senses Obi-Wan. Riva enters the building. Leia, Tala and Kenobi were in. Obi-Wan sees Vader as Vader activates his lightsaber. Obi-Wan flees Vader. Vader finds him again and Kenobi activates his lightsaber, as does Vader. Obi-Wan asks him what has he become, and Darth Vader says to him, I am what you have made me. They fight and Vader says that Kenobi has become weak. Leia and Tala run down the tunnel, but Leia tells Tala to go back and help Kenobi as she can make it the rest of the way. Tala goes to help Kenobi. Vader continues to fight with Kenobi and Vader pushes Kenobi with the Force, sending him flying backwards. Vader lifts Kenobi with the Force and starts to choke him. Kenobi drops his lightsaber and Vader causes the ground to catch fire and with the Force drags Kenobi through the flames. Vader says that this is just the start of his pain. Vader stops the fire and gets one of the stormtroopers to get Kenobi, but is shot by Tala. Tala then fires on some equipment near Vader and the stormtroopers, causing an explosion. She grabs Kenobi with the help of one of her droids and says they must take him to Jabim. Leia reaches the end of the tunnel where she runs into Riva. The episode ends. Finally Vader appears in all his glory and it's great to hear James Earl Jones voicing him again. For a Disney series, to see this brutality of what he has done, dragging the poor defenseless woman and snapping him by his neck, and then seeing Obi-Wan being dragged through the fire is shocking, and I'm sure has surprised a lot of people, me included. Also seeing the stormtroopers being sliced in half with the barrier as well. So much for George Lucas's Star Wars for kids. This is the first of the two duels between Kenobi and Vader, and seeing the weakness of Kenobi after 10 years in hiding. Myself personally, if I was hiding in a cave, I would still practice my fighting with my lightsaber, especially if I know that the Jedi is still being hunted down by ruthless Inquisitors, and that I have to say makes no sense to me with Obi-Wan. Despite that, I love this episode, seeing Kenobi and Vader fighting again, even though it was brief compared to what I've heard is yet to come, which is to be bigger than before. As I said in my previous videos, I love this series, and I also give this episode a 10 out of 10. And let's see how episode 4 goes. But that's it for now. Comment and subscribe to my channel. And until the next time, may the Force be with you.